Hi, my name's Anthony and I'm a field worker for Symbiosis Bangladesh. And you're about to watch a video about a gentleman who makes a living peddling a rickshaw just like this one. For us, the rickshaw is the perfect symbol of the hard-working poor who are desperately trying to escape the cycle of poverty. During the Great Aussie Rickshaw Ride, we're riding rickshaws to raise awareness of global poverty and practical ways you can help. Be sure to join us when the Great Aussie Rickshaw Ride comes your way.
Raju has been riding rickshaws through the streets of Mymensing in Bangladesh for the past 7 years. As he gets ready for the day, he thinks about his wife and 2 children at home. He would like to send his children to school, but right now, providing food and shelter for the family is his main concern. Each day, the family's food, usually rice and lentils, costs around 150 taka, or about $3 Australian. Then there's the rent for his 1-bedroom home at about 40 cents a day. Although a rickshaw only costs around 225 Australian dollars, this amount is simply out of the reach of most rickshaw wallahs. The majority of them, like Raju, hire their rickshaws at a fee of $1.60 a day. Today, Raju is grateful he is feeling well. He recently fell sick for a few days, and when you are a rickshaw wallah, no work means no pay. Still, he can't help thinking to himself, will my day go well? Will I earn enough? With that thought, he pushes against the pedals and heads out into the day. Raju is one of an estimated 2 million rickshaw wallahs across Bangladesh who push their rickety machines through crowded streets and alleyways. In an average day in Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, rickshaws cover some 18 million kilometres and make 7 million passenger trips. At this rate, they carry more than double the passengers of the London Underground. It's not hard to see why Dhaka is known as the rickshaw capital of the world. In Bangladesh, the rickshaw industry is a major economic operation. The estimated 400,000 rickshaws in Dhaka alone generate more than $500 million a year. The industry includes rickshaw makers, artists, repairers, fleet owners, and the wallahs who cycle them. In a very real way, the rickshaw industry helps turn the wheels of this nation's economy. Raju's first fare for the day. These ladies need a ride to their workplace about 2 kilometres away. Raju collects the standard fare of 20 taka, or about 40 cents. Raju lives in one of the most densely populated nations in the world. Bangladesh is home to 156 million people living in an area about 2/3 the size of Victoria. There are more than 1,000 people for every square kilometre, compared to 2 to 3 people per square kilometre living in Australia. By midday, Raju has picked up 8 passengers and pedalled around 12 kilometres. Like most rickshaw wallahs, Raju is uneducated and cannot read or write. Lack of education is one of the reasons Bangladesh is one of the poorest nations on earth. 3/4 of the population live on less than $2 a day. The forces of nature also contribute to the poverty in Bangladesh. Most of Bangladesh is a floodplain of mighty rivers running down from the Himalaya mountains. Regular floods destroy farms, houses, and businesses. Cyclones and river erosion bring further destruction. Yet in spite of these challenges, the nation is making progress. Employment rates, for example, have increased by 20% over the past 2 decades. Hauling heavy loads all day, rickshaw wallahs develop legs of steel. It has been calculated that rickshaw wallahs burn up similar amounts of energy as Olympic athletes during competitions. A small uphill gradient doubles the amount of power needed. On top of that, stopping and starting, which happens often in Bangladesh traffic, also doubles the power required. All this is done by riders who, like Raju, are often malnourished. By the time they are in their 40s, most rickshaw wallahs are unable to keep up the demands of this kind of work. However, some continue into their 50s because they have no other options. In the bigger cities and towns, many of them end up with respiratory problems after breathing polluted air for too many years. But these are distant concerns for Raju. Right now, he has enough on his mind just dealing with the job at hand. Breakdowns are an unwelcome but all too common part of the job. As a rickshaw hirer, Raju is responsible for any repairs needed on his shift. Raju takes the rickshaw to one of the many repairmen who sit along the sides of the streets with their bag of tools. The repair costs Raju about half an hour of time and 40 cents from his takings. He decides to work a few extra hours to try to make up for the loss. Over the next few hours, Raju works until he knows he can do no more. Around 8 p.m, after a 14-hour day, Raju returns the rickshaw to the owner and counts his money. After paying the hire of the rickshaw, he finds he has fallen below his target for the day. At the end of the day, Raju at least has some money for his family. School for his children will have to wait. He can only hope that tomorrow will be better.